Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Friday, the 4th of September 2020. So, we should be concerned. Fed spooked by biggest market crash since March. So, the volatility certainly returned yesterday, that's for sure, yesterday afternoon in particular. And as it says here, stocks are crashing. VIX spikes as option players panic and buy protection. This is what we were talking about in yesterday's Market Alert when we looked at the implied volatility and also the VIX volatility, where there had been a disconnect from the normal pattern of volatility moving lower and stocks moving higher. So there was obviously a precursor to something coming down. I know it's been the option players because that's what the implied volatility is related to. And there was an article on Zero Hedge the day before about this, but it turned up a lot quicker than most people thought. So the Dow down over 800 points, down over 1,000 at one point yesterday. And as you can see here with the volatility spiking up to 27 in the Dow. The Dow hasn't actually closed below the 20 bar moving average yet, which we'll look at shortly. And here you can see we're still amber but moving to the upside now. Interestingly enough as well, today we should see the volatility calm as Monday is sees the markets closed in the US in observation of the Labor Day celebrations. Now, I'm not sure whether just the bond market's closed and the stock market's open, but I will let you know in due course. But I'm sure everything is closed for Labor Day, if I recall. It's sort of like the last bank holiday of the year for the US, the same for us, but I will find out. So let's have a look at yesterday's trades, have a quick look and see what happened. The market, pre-market there, you can see prices are below the 200 bar moving average at the moment. So let me just get the right tools together. So there you can see you've got the market just below. This is in the pre-market. You've got the orange line in there, the 318 that I drew in the day before when I was watching the market go through all of the fibs to the upside, and the market was seeing that as a bit of support. I actually drove through that, and then we came through the 200 MA there, a bit of selling pressure, but as soon as the market opens we see that it becomes a support with prices closing back above it. The volume is high. We'd already turned green here. We've got some professional buying as well as they try to move the market. And also here, again, you can see the green bars there where they were already anticipating a move to the upside. And then prices just drove straight up to the previous day's high. I'm just having a look in the daily chart to see where we could go with this and what we've got on the upside. 13,436. And then back to the daily. And of course the 3.6 is above this BRN here. So now we're seeing some selling pressure and some profit taking coming into the market. And then prices fail to move higher for a third time there. You can see how the market's banging its head against the 13,400. The volume is starting to drop off a bit, but there are no new buyers at this point. And we see prices move to the downside there. Just having to reload the charts there. Prices then put in some buying coming off this bar here, which you can see, but this doesn't hold as prices are moved lower down towards the high, and the high they find support as soon as they hit the high from yesterday. Watch this, the market is brought back in one big bar all the way back. Within 2 minutes the market is reversed and prices then move higher, as you see there, and trade up to the target that we looked at in the daily chart. And then prices come off the high here, and you're seeing prices starting to move lower, but the up move isn't over yet as prices then reverse, come back, and then trade up to the psychological level there. And then you see profit taking coming into the market once more with the selling. So prices then trade sideways. We have a potential buy signal. Let me just wind this back. The order is filled. but we've got resistance, as we can see here, all the way through this area here. We've got this resistance, and we've got to take this out, and unfortunately the scalp level is at this resistance as well. Prices fail. They just moved lower to begin with, and then we get a potential sell signal. At this point, I think it's going to be a repeat of Wednesday afternoon, but prices managed to come back up towards the entry price of the long there. I jumped ship there because it's starting to look weak. We got the selling here, and then the market filled the sell side, which you'll see there, and then this failed to hold as prices came off the low in this bar. The volume increased slightly, and then prices reversed once more and traded back up to the recent high there, and then started to move lower, and then we had another sell signal, and again we've got resistance here, and this tied in with the daily chart as well, with that line I had drawn in, which I can't go back to because this is recorded. And then the sell signal is not filled. We go back to the highs, and then eventually, as you'll see in just a moment, it just churns on the high, and then we get the sell signal, and then prices fill this and come back to the 20 bar, go back down to the entry, come back to the BRN. It was a long grind, just trying to see if we could actually move and take out the scalp. And the reason I stayed with this is because we got all of this resistance to the left. It was going to take an awful lot to drive through this area to move back up. So I decided, well, I might as well hang in there and just see, because of the weakness in the market. And eventually it paid off, and I only pulled it just at the scalp. I had other things to do, which is a shame, because later on the market continued lower, as you can see, down to this area here that I'd already drawn in. But unfortunately I had to leave the desk to do other things. So let's have a look at the afternoon. The market had already traded back down to the orange line, the high from the 21st of July, and then as you'll see, tried to find support there, but then just sailed straight through. And at this point the Dow was starting to look a bit uneasy. We had news out as well, which was a bit of a pain, because in particular we got Bailey speaking, and we don't know how long he's going to speak and what he's going to say. So I had to make a judgment call here when the news was out. So the news now is just being released, and then we had a potential buy signal. What to do was the difficult bit at this level, and I thought, well, I'll take it anyway, which obviously didn't work out, because then we had a reversal and a potential sell signal. So having jumped out of the buy, it was time for the sell, and this continued lower, as you can see here. Again, the market's got this resistance, which you'll see. I won't just get my fingers right on the keyboard. You will see that we've got prices now below the 21st July high, and below the 20 bar, and below the 5 bar, and below the BRN, the psychological level. So it'd take a lot to actually come back, given that there was a lot of weakness in the mid-morning session as well. Prices failed to close above the 5 bar moving average, continue to make lower highs, and trade down to the DP level, and then come back, as you'll see, very strongly with the green bar, and it's time to get out of the trade. And I managed to grab 60 odd points out of that trade. However, prices held for a while. There's your green bar, profit taking. You will get the market trading sideways for a bit, but still failed to close above the 5 bar moving average. As you'll see there, it just traded sideways at that DP level, but then eventually had to give way as the Dow continued to lose money, and move lower, and so did the DAX. It just continued there until the 4 o'clock switch off, but did continue after that as well, which was interesting as well, as it made its way lower and grabbed a few more points out of that as well. Okay, let's have a look, see where we are overnight with this market. And we'll start off with the daily chart. You can see yesterday the carnage there, the selling that came into the market for the whole day, trading back to this high that we see here, which is for August the 11th high. It found support there, along with the 20 bar moving average, and as you can see, prices are up on the overnight as well. This is the Dow, by the way, not the DAX. This is the showing that it's still holding at that 20 bar level, which is why the implied volatility isn't red. So mistake there. I thought it was the DAX. I thought it looked odd. I don't recall this price action in the DAX. So the Dow supporting the market at the moment, coming back off the 20 bar moving average, which is what is normally the case. So let me find you the right chart now. Let's have a look at the DAX, and this is what we're looking at. So let's start off with the daily chart. Again, you'll still see the big selling bar as well, which is consistent with the Dow, but it's a bit more choppier and certainly more sideways. But again, you'll see the same thing here, the market coming off the 20 bar moving average on the overnight and heading back towards the highs. Now, it's not unusual for the market to do a straight reversal off these sort of days either. So don't be surprised if that happens, especially going into a holiday weekend, as hopefully it was just a shakeout yesterday for this market. So overnight, if we just have a look here, prices have moved to the upside. They're back above the 200 MA, the black line, which we can see there, and heading at the moment to the DP level. The high is going to be a very, very long way off on this one, but what's going to be crucial in this market is the low, which you will see down here. That's going to resize the chart, but the high up here is a very long way away. It can make it back there. Never say never. You never know what's going to happen in the markets. We just get a good idea of what could happen, but importantly here is a break of the 200 MA and then also a break of the close, because in the daily chart that takes us through the 20 bar moving average and heading south. So it's a matter of being aware of where prices are in the bigger picture, as I always say. That's the most important thing. So let's have a quick look at news for today. We've got MPC Saunders speaking in the UK. That's tentative. There's no time given, so whenever they can set up with Zoom, I would have thought. And then in the US, 1:30. Oh yes, it's the big one, isn't it? Of course, it's Friday. Non-farm payrolls today. They're looking at 1.3 million new jobs for today, which seems slightly odd. Anyway, that's what the figure is. Unemployment rate to drop to 9.8. Oh yeah, that makes that tie in now. So 9.8 for the jobless. We'll see the unemployment rate as well. Okay, that will do it for this one. Let me just check on the Labour Day before finishing, and then we'll know where we are with Monday as well. Okay, so I've managed to find it. We've got the UK, Germany and Euro stocks open normal on the Sunday night. But if you look down here, the US is closed all day. So the US market is closed on Monday, so it's going to be down to the DAX and others to market direction. But there will be the electronic market, of course. So the US is closed for the Labour Day celebrations this coming Monday. Okay, that's it for this one. As ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next.